What drives a person to destroy their own life over a petty feud? In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where manicured lawns and friendly waves define the neighborhood, a single act of spite set off a chain of events that would unravel lives and expose hidden truths. This is the story of Karen Whitaker, a woman whose obsession with control led her to a devastating fall. Karen Whitaker was the kind of neighbor who seemed to have it all together. Her house was pristine, her roses award-winning, and her smile as polished as her white picket fence. But beneath the surface, Karen was a storm waiting to break. She thrived on order, and any deviation from her vision of perfection was a personal affront. Across the street lived Jamal Carter, a single father and high school teacher who moved to Willow Creek seeking a fresh start after a painful divorce. His modest home wasn't as flawless as Karen's, but it was filled with warmth. His daughter, Lila, often played in the yard, her laughter a melody that softened the edges of the cul-de-sac. The trouble began over a trivial matter: Jamal's oak tree. Its branches stretched just over the property line, dropping leaves onto Karen's immaculate lawn. To Karen, those leaves were an invasion, a blemish on her carefully curated world. She left polite notes at first, taped to Jamal's mailbox, asking him to trim the branches. Jamal, busy with grading papers and raising Lila, promised to handle it but never found the time. The notes turned sharp, then venomous. "Your negligence is ruining my property," one read. Jamal, exhausted but diplomatic, apologized and hired a landscaper, but the damage was done. Karen's resentment had taken root. One crisp autumn evening, as the neighborhood glowed under the amber streetlights, Karen's frustration boiled over. She stood on her porch, staring at the leaves scattered across her lawn, her fists clenched. "Enough is enough," she muttered. In a fit of rage, she grabbed bags of trash from her garage, rotting food, plastic wrappers, and soggy paper, and dumped them onto Jamal's front yard. The act felt cathartic, a release of months of pent-up anger. She didn't stop there. Night after night, she added more, turning Jamal's lawn into a landfill. To her, it was justice. Jamal woke one morning to find his yard trashed, the stench of decay wafting through the air. Lila, only 8, cried as she saw her favorite play spot ruined. "Why would someone do this, Daddy?" she asked, her voice trembling. Jamal's heart sank. He knew it was Karen. The neighborhood had seen her pacing, muttering about standards and disrespect. He confronted her, his voice steady but firm. "Karen, this has to stop. We can work this out." Her response was a cold smirk. "Fix your tree, and maybe I'll consider it." The feud escalated. Jamal installed a security camera, capturing Karen's nocturnal trash-dumping ritual. He reported it to the police, hoping for a warning to end the madness. But Karen was undeterred. She doubled down, spreading rumors that Jamal was a negligent father, even calling child services with baseless claims. The neighborhood, once a haven, became a battleground. Whispers followed Jamal and Lila at the grocery store, and Karen's allies, mostly older residents who admired her standards, shunned them. Enter Mrs. Evelyn Torres, a quiet widow who lived at the end of the street. Evelyn was an enigma, rarely seen outside her garden, where she tended to rare Karen roses, their vibrant petals a stark contrast to her reclusive nature. She watched the feud unfold from her window, her sharp eyes missing nothing. Evelyn had a past. She kept burying a career as a private investigator before grief over her husband's death drove her to solitude. She saw something in Karen's behavior that others missed, a desperation that went beyond leaves and lawns. Evelyn decided to act. One night, as Karen crept across the street with another bag of trash, Evelyn followed, her phone recording. But Evelyn's footage revealed more than just Karen's vandalism. In the shadows, Karen wasn't alone. A man, later identified as her estranged brother, Derek, was helping her. Derek, a drifter with a rap sheet, had been staying in Karen's garage, hidden from the neighborhood. He was the one escalating the trash dumping, egging Karen on, feeding her paranoia. Evelyn's discovery was the twist no one saw, Kaminga family secret that would unravel Karen's carefully crafted image. Evelyn shared her findings with Jamal, who was stunned. Why would she let him drag her into this? He asked. Evelyn's eyes softened. Sometimes, family makes us blind to our own destruction. She urged Jamal to take the evidence to the police, but he hesitated. He didn't want to ruin Karen's life over leaves and trash. Instead, he confronted her one last time, showing her the footage. Karen, this isn't you. Stop before it's too late. But Karen was too far gone. Her pride, her need to win, consumed her. She laughed off Jamal's plea and dumped another load that night, unaware that Evelyn had already sent the footage to the authorities. The next morning, police cars lined the street. Karen was arrested for vandalism, trespassing, and environmental violations. The trash included hazardous materials, escalating the charges. The neighborhood watched in stunned silence as she was led away, her face a mask of disbelief. The trial was a spectacle. Karen's lawyer argued she was under duress, manipulated by Derek, who had a history of coercion. But the evidence was damning. Months of footage, neighbors' testimonies, and even Lila's tearful account of losing her safe space. The judge, unmoved by Karen's claims of defending her property, fined her $100,000 and sentenced her to community service. Derek, meanwhile, disappeared, leaving Karen to face the consequences alone. As the gavel fell, Karen's world collapsed. Her perfect house was put up for sale to cover the fine. Her reputation, once her pride, was shattered. Neighbors who once admired her now pitied her. Jamal, however, didn't celebrate. He felt no victory in her downfall, only sorrow for a woman undone by her own anger. He and Lila planted a new tree in their yard, a symbol of moving forward. Evelyn, the quiet widow, became an unlikely hero. She invited Lila to her garden, teaching her to care for the Karen roses, their beauty a reminder that even in conflict, something delicate could survive. Life's too short for grudges, Evelyn told her, her voice heavy with wisdom earned through loss. Lila nodded, her small hands cradling a bloom, vowing to never let anger take root in her heart. Karen, meanwhile, faded from Willow Creek. Some said she moved to a small apartment across town, others that she left the state entirely. Her roses withered, her fence weathered, and her legacy became a cautionary tale whispered at neighborhood barbecues. The leaves from Jamal's oak still fell, but they no longer carried the weight of war. In the end, the story of Karen Whitaker wasn't just about a dispute over a tree. It was about the cost of pride, the fragility of community, and the unexpected grace of those who choose forgiveness over vengeance. Jamal and Lila found peace, their bond stronger for it. Evelyn's roses bloomed brighter, a quiet testament to her role in healing a fractured street. But for Karen, the price of her rage was a life undone, a bitter reminder that some battles, once fought, leave no winners. ND.